that's how I got Dota 2, and I have a copy of LA Noire on Steam because someone gifted it to me.
Oh, okay.
Dota 2 is free.
Dota 2 is lame.
Go check out the Horror, Philosophy, and Culture podcast, Scary Thoughts. Co-hosts Mark Kate and Chad Lott cover classic and auteur horror films, going deep while keeping the conversation light. To listen, go over to iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, or wherever you receive your dark sermons from the curse minds of the damned.
Welcome to Comically Gaming, episode 104, the weekly talk show in which we discuss our obsessions and the week's news around them. A games, comics, and culture production. Catch new episodes every Tuesday, and please consider supporting us at patreon.com/GCandC. You can help us improve all our content for as little as $1 a month.
This week in Comically Gaming, Microsoft allows digital game gifting. Monster Hunter roars onto the Switch. Sony outlines E3 plans. The timeline is laid out for the Star Wars TV series, and Nintendo finally releases the Switch Online plans.
What's up?
How you guys doing?
Oh my God!
Scary Thoughts is good. Jeff and I could probably talk about that when I don't know.
Talk about it
at
too.
some point.
It's great. I love Scary Thoughts. I watch every one that if I've seen the movie or whatever they're talking about, I listen, don't watch, right? But I listen to every single one, and I love it. I don't necessarily agree with those guys all the time, but just
oh really?
Pick stuff apart is fun.
It's almost impossible to agree because it's so freeform. I mean, it's almost like political theory. I mean, not political, philosophical theory.
There's a lot of shit that I agree with.
I mean, it's all over the place. I don't think it's like a stance or anything that they're taking. It's discussion, you know?
Yeah, totally.
So,
did you listen to the Facebook one?
Yep.
That's the one I just finished. But
That
my
one
next
is
one, I'm doing the black metal one next because I read Lords of Chaos, and I'm curious to see what they say about black metal. So.
It's interesting. It's long.
How was your week, Jeff?
Crazy week. So, I guess the little thing I did was I bought a Switch.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
What's the Jeff Switch review?
I'm fighting a 5-year-old for game time is what I'm doing.
That was going to happen.
I picked up Breath of the Wild, and I picked up Kirby All-Stars for him, and it's really good. I like how simplistic it is to hook up, and Breath of the Wild looks so much better than it did on the Wii U. I'm just amazed. I love the artwork in that game. I really do.
How can it look better? Is it just got more of a draw distance, or what?
It has a cleaner draw distance. It's cleaned up. It's not.
It's higher resolution.
Everything's more defined in the background. Like it doesn't give you that sort of obscure, like there's a volcano in the background. You can actually see the volcano this time when you're standing back on the plateau, and it's great. It's even fun just on the handheld. When I got it that night, I took it up into bed and I was playing. And my wife's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Okay, you got me."
Did your wife play it at all?
No.
So, let me ask, like, the one question I have, like, with kids, I'm almost afraid to get one because my kids just, like,
destroy the world.
Stuff nasty, yeah, right. And I'm afraid like the Switch is too nice. Like it's easy to get a DS for $80 and throw it at them and not care what happens to it. Like
yeah, and it has a fan. It has a fan with a vent on the top. So if they poured something in there, it would be fucked. There's a big open hole in the top.
Yeah, I gotta keep it away from him as much as I can. He woke up way early this morning and played. He killed it almost. He killed the battery on it.
Nice.
But he pulled the cartridge, like you pulled Zelda out and put All-Stars in there, and it doesn't shut down. It just goes to sleep. So you've got to actually stop the software from running so you can safely eject the cartridge. I don't know what repeated ejections will do. I'm sure it'll corrupt the hardware. Yeah, the first time I touched, like the first couple times, there's a lot of static electricity. Like I touched it and I was getting shocked on certain points. So it's like really, yeah, I was really weirded out about that. So I got to get a screen case before I let him manhandle it too much. But I'm trying to instill that don't touch it unless we're there.
What's your next game?
Just download your games so you don't have to worry about corrupting shit. I downloaded all mine.
I'm going to do that going forward just because I hate switching. I'm so lazy.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I did it.
I'm so lazy. After I started downloading everything on my PS4, I'm just so fucking lazy. I was like, I got to get up and swap out the disc. This sucks.
It's not
especially for a portable device. That way you could just bring your Switch. You don't have to bring your Switch and a bunch of little games with it. You could just bring your Switch.
And the games, I don't have one with me, but the games, I swear, the games are the size of this SD card.
Right.
Or this PSP card.
Yeah.
I mean, they're freaking tiny, and this holds 32 meg.
Yeah, fanny pack. Or
no.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's laziness, Jeff. I think that's the way to go. Once you do it, once you have a bunch of games on a portable, it's like you just fly through them, right?
Yeah, it's not laziness. It just makes sense.
It's cooler. Yeah,
it does. It's awesome. But so maybe for road trips and stuff, I like that the power cord is. You can't fuck it up by plugging it in.
Yeah.
That's how most new USB-C cables, most new phones have that.
Yeah.
That's what everything's switching to. You plug it in either way.
Samsung cord is?
Yeah, it's a C.
Yeah.
It is, okay.
Nice.
It's nice. What else? So I was playing, I've been playing a little bit of Celeste, and I hit a spot in the second level. It just blew my mind for a platform. I was like, whoa.
Are we... Wait, Nate's the only one that's out, right?
That's fine. Have just don't talk spoilers, though. We're not in the spoiler section, right?
It was...
Yeah.
You can say Celeste is a cool platformer.
It's where I guess it's the first turning point in the story. Like, you actually realize there might be a story behind this game.
That, number one. And then number two, it's going to start doing things that a platformer has never really done before.
It has done that. It changed ice into something else. So
yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So I'm digging that. What else did I play? We had a sort of IT for work gaming afternoon on Friday, and so I was playing a boatload of Team Fortress 2, a really old game on Steam.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. We were playing some StarCraft 2, getting our ass beat on medium by the computer. And I played Dota 2, and I don't like that game. It's lame. But then, let's see, I read a lot of comics this week.
Jeff is joining our cult.
I was getting my time in before the semester starts, and some class stuff has already started up, but I've been able to manage it. So I read, Marvel 2-in-1 number 5. This gets really good. This gets really good at the end.
Yeah.
And then I checked this one out, the Venom number 1.
Did you read it?
Yeah, with Donny Cates.
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't like it?
No, it just isn't my cup of tea. I just think it was too weird.
That's my comic of the week.
It's a little weird, dude. We can talk later, but it was just...
Oh, it's weird. Yeah, for sure.
Super strange. But then I picked up American Gods. I picked up American Gods, Neil Gaiman.
I'm curious about that. I read the novel.
It's different. It's really good so far. I like it. It's a break from the superhero comic,
right?
Yeah,
I've never watched the show. I've never watched the show.
It's a novel show and now a comic book.
So who adapted? Who adapted the comic?
I think Neil Gaiman adapted the comic.
Is it Dark Horse?
Yeah,
Who's
Dark
the publisher?
Horse.
Yeah,
Dark Horse.
It says in there that he's the writer?
Yeah, he's the writer. So he scripted the comic version of it.
Oh, that's cool then. All of a sudden I'm interested. I didn't care until I heard that.
It's really good. It's so far. I just picked up 1 and 2. There was 9.
And it's P. Craig Russell who did Sandman work with him.
Jeff, you got to watch the show. If right now in TV it's Game of Thrones, it's Legion, it's Preacher, and it's American Gods.
Yeah.
I'll watch
I have
American Gods.
Yeah.
Dialing in the Frankxx.
I'm watching, dude. I've been watching I watched the show SEAL Team. That's on. I know you guys don't like broadcast TV.
CBS. I know what channel it is on.
You're just
I
wasting
love-
your time. You can
No,
be watching
dude.
good stuff.
SEAL Team is awesome.
We always talk about Jeff because we watch We have a digital antenna, HD antenna, and we have to watch CBS for. We watch CBS this morning when we wake up in the morning,
Yeah, for the
and
news.
60 minutes. But then those the commercials for those shows come on. We always look at Jeff.
Yeah, I did read Oblivion Song number 3.
Oh, that's cool. Is it good?
I think I'm done with it now.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
The first one.
It's they're dragging it out, and it just, I don't know, it jumps around too much to try and follow the story sometimes. And sometimes the artwork, you can't really tell what's going on. So, I don't know. And then, in prep, so whenever we finish Curse of Strahd, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That would be the best.
Nice.
Hope you guys like the Underdark.
Yeah,
Nice.
he finally got his Drow adventure there.
Since I can't play a Drow, I will run a Drow campaign, and you guys will suffer. It's straight up evil.
Excited.
But I'm getting excited for some movies coming out at the end of this week.
Yeah.
New movie.
Oh, you know what else? Is it this week or next? Oh, next week. Next week is so I guess we could talk about it next episode. Is Mordenkainen, Tomb of Foes comes out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
You can buy that. I've spent $250 on D&D books now, and
They're gonna go into halflings and gnomes, so
that's
pretty much
nice.
gotta get it.
And I think that's pretty much it. I guess I do, now that I beat God of War, I probably should suck through the grind of Monster Hunter World and just finish it since I'm almost there.
You're so close.
But
Yeah.
I like Celeste. I'm getting
Good
the hang
luck,
of
dude.
it. I know.
You finished
Good luck.
Titanfall 2. I mean, that game's not that long. You're probably over halfway through.
Yeah, I should probably finish that too. I was getting into it at the end. It was getting crazy.
You might break your
Just wait.
controller with Celeste.
Just wait.
It's just great. And other than that, I'm going to stop talking because it's hot in here, but I can't open my door because then it sounds like a wind tunnel.
Buddy. All right. Cool. Well, I, didn't do a lot. I'm just super fucking busy. It's crazy. The one thing that I did this week brought me back to my teenage years. Checked out a Demolition Derby last night. It was pretty sweet. It's funny. I don't know. I haven't been to Demolition Derby in like 20 years. When I was in high school, every year we'd go to the Chelsea County Fair, and there'd be an awesome Demolition Derby there. There'd be like 40 cars in every heat, right? And then at the end of it, you go hang out at the ghetto fair for the rest of the night, right? So there's one right around the corner here, and had demo derby. So me and some friends in the fam all went there, and they take like the cars that they drove in were clearly had been used in demolition derbies before, and they were like smashed back together and all welded up and stuff like that.
That's
'Cause
awesome.
It's weird, back in like 1991, I guess there's just a boatload of 70s cars that were running like crap that people would just buy for cheap and enter in demolition derbies, and they'd have the car crusher like next to the thing and destroy them afterwards, right? Like this thing was the stuff that they pieced together was pretty funny that they would do that. But I don't know if they just travel around and try and repair what they have between and stuff. Like it was crazy. But
I'm sure they do, because cars 70s, early 80s, really
hard to
solid.
come
Really, well, they're really solid construction too. You got to,
Yeah.
you
Totally.
know,
Metal.
Yep.
if you tried to do a demo derby with like Priuses, it'd be over in like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Be plastic everywhere.
Totally. And then we watched a movie this week. It wasn't the first time I've seen this movie, but
Forever, My Girl?
We joke about our rating system with everybody, and this movie, dead easy 10 out of 10. One of the greatest movies I've ever seen, for sure. Watched it again with the kids this week.
Drum roll, please.
A Beautiful Life.
Oh, with Russell Crowe?
No,
Oh,
no, not with Russell Crowe. With the guy's Italian in his
Oh,
wife's.
Benini.
Yeah, Roberto Benigni.
Roberto Benini.
oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree.
I
I mean,
mean
it's
that movie has such emotional impact. Like holy
it's
crap!
been
No,
ages since I've seen it, but
it's
yeah,
as good as it was the last time you've seen it. It's so
that's
good.
awesome.
Just like I mean, there's parts in it that just blow me away. So I just want to throw out there when I give the Avengers a 7.3 and everybody's mad at me, 7.3 is good.
Did he won
I think the
an Oscar
Avengers is
for
better
that?
than that.
Yeah, that was movie of the year that it came out
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yep.
came out in 2008.
Yep. It's great. Watch Legion again. With this episode, we're going to do the mid-season Legion talk here, Legionnaires at the end of the show, full spoilers. So I won't go too much into it here.
Brian Ferry.
Comic books, I'm still catching up on Saga. Read a few more sagas. I read Saga before I go to bed every night, and then the one that I just wanted to bring up, and I know right along the lines of Saga. Anybody else read this yet?
No, I haven't yet.
Barrier? No.
It's good. I couldn't
Is
believe it? Yeah, when it got to at first, I got halfway through it and I got interrupted and had to do something else, and I was like, oh, I don't know what if I like this or not. And then when it got to the end, I was like, oh, there's like a thing that
BKB.
it was shocking for such a short story that a single comic book is. It
Right.
definitely made an impact.
It's a
Question.
mini-series, right? That
Yeah,
was
that's what I was
originally
wondering.
online.
I don't know about that. I know they're putting it all out. In
That's
comics,
I read it was a mini-series that was
That's good. That's good.
online.
Yeah, I
I
think
like that idea.
I think it says in there that it's going to be like 6 or 8, something like that. But it's cool, and it kind of gets into today's political issues and does it well. Like usually,
Nuanced.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it's new. Correct. Exactly. So I'd recommend that for everybody. And then video games, just been too busy. If I only have a half an hour to play games, I'm not going to play God of War. Like I want to wait until I have a good chunk and can sit down and rock it out. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I just enjoy it more that way when you can really get into it. And so I've just had such short little spurts. Just been playing Monster Hunter still. It's crazy how awesome Monster Hunter is. That I'm still playing it at this point. Usually, if I beat a game, no matter how cool it is, I'm out after that.
Yeah.
This is the first game since the original Destiny that really just like is time and a place is really cool right now. Have you guys seen the new missions that are out there to get the Sakurai Street Fighter
Yeah.
costume and stuff? Like they're dropping new cool stuff to do constantly. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
Like and it's cool. Yeah, it just goes on. So, anyways, that was my week.
Wow.
Nice. Me?
Corey, how was your week?
Good.
Pass the ball.
So I finally beat Atelier Sophie,
Oh,
Alchemist of the Mysterious Book.
nice.
What did you think?
I really liked it. I give it a 7.5.
Oh.
That's a solid score
yeah,
for a JRPG, huh?
Yeah, it for what it is. I mean, you can tell it's a portable game. Is the thing, you know? It's pretty simple, but I enjoyed it all the way through. It was long. The only problem was the final boss was fucking super fucking hard. Like it started. I mean, up until the final boss, I never had a problem with the battle. I got to him, and I couldn't even dent his health. And I was like, what the fuck? So I turned it down to easy, still couldn't even get him halfway. So then I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. I've spent like 50 hours on this game, and now I have to grind forever to beat this boss. And like, so it turned out I just needed to craft some better armor to be able to beat it on. I crafted some better armor the next night, spent a couple hours doing that, and then I still beat him on easy. I tried it on normal and still couldn't get him. If I had spent more time gathering materials and crafting better stuff and grinding a little bit, I could have. It's not a skill thing. It was just a time thing, and I didn't want to spend any more time on it. But,
Nice.
but But it was good. I enjoyed it. It sucks. The third one is on the Switch, and I really want it for the Switch. It's the first one in a 3-part series. And it would be great for the Switch. I'd love to play it on the go. Like it's not good enough to spend 50 hours playing it on my PS4. So like it's I mean it is, but I just have other stuff I want to play on the PS4. But I'm gonna have to play the second one on my PS4 so that I can play the third one on my Switch because I really want to do that. So, but it was good.
I bet you if it sells on Switch, they'll bring the other ones over.
Hopefully, yeah. $60, but it's and the second I got that one for like less than $20 in that sale, and then the second one is a $60 game, and it's not worth. It's too simple of a game to be a $60 game. So I looked it up on Amazon, and you can get the disc for $35. So it might be the first disc I buy for my PS4 because I'm not spending $60 on it.
What do you mean it's simple? Like, what do you mean by that?
Just like there's one main town that you go back to, and like the towns, there's different sections of the town that you run in, a bunch of different vendors and like friends that you have in the game that you talk to and stuff. But then then there's a big world map, but it's not like you know, in the world map, you just select the destination on the world map you want to go to, and then it just shows your character running to it, and then you're there, and then it's like a dungeon, basically. But it's it's just not real deep. It's not like a giant open world that you're exploring, and it's not like super detailed or like.
I got you.
It's just kind of a basic story, and it's not super deep, but it was good for what it was.
Turn-based, or is it action style?
It's turn-based combat.
You recommend it for the Vita though?
For the Vita, yeah. I wouldn't recommend buying it on your PS4, but if you ever see it on sale for the Vita, get it. Don't spend like $60 on it, but
sure.
Yep. And then I started playing one of the free games this month, the Beyond Two Souls on PS4.
Digging that?
Yeah, it's awesome. I really like it. It's the game
Ellen
after.
Page.
Yeah. It's the game that Quantic Dream or whatever made after Heavy Rain, which which was my main complaint was R2 to move forward and the left stick to choose the direction. And they got rid of that. So the controls are way better. And the story is really, really awesome. It's my only complaint is QuickTime events. It's almost all QuickTime events, and the combat. And the thing is, like in the combat, a guy will swing at you like forward, and you either have to push at him with the stick or down to dodge below his punch. And it doesn't tell you. You're just supposed to be able to judge it by the way he's punching. And you fucking can't half the time. And I was fighting this guy with this machete last night, and it would go into slow motion, and I'd be like, fuck, is it down or forward? I'd hit down and just get slashed, and I'd be like, fuck! Like, I was getting so mad.
I recognize that face.
Wow.
It was like, so that part pisses me off, and it's not because of my reaction time, it's just because I don't know which button I'm supposed to press, so it pisses me off. But other than that, it's really great. The story's awesome. It's weird because it's real actors. It's like you said, it's Ellen Page, the chick from Juno.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's the main actress, and it's her body, and it's not just her voice. It's her. She's in the game, so it's her. She's all mapped into it, so it looks exactly like her. And same with one of the main guys is the Green Goblin, Dafoe or what? William Dafoe.
Yeah, William Dafoe.
And it's his body and everything too. So it's weird. Like
that's awesome.
I feel like that's not necessary in a video game. To have the actor's actual. What's the point? Like, it just kind of makes it seem weird to me. But But I really like it. Highly recommend it. Definitely get it for free and play it. Makes me way more excited for Detroit.
Yeah.
Detroit Become
Nice.
Human. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was listening to a podcast this week. They were talking about it, and it was.
Yeah. I'm hyped for it. Other than that, I watched anime, Darling in the Franxx again. Still really awesome. I'm serious. Legion's gonna have a tough time taking over.
I'll start watching it.
What episode are you on?
I think it's 17 or 18.
Okay, so if you're gonna recommend it that hard, is it just with Corey Brain that you like it that much, or is this like a product that everybody would enjoy on those terms? You know what I'm saying?
Don't know if everyone would enjoy it.
Why wouldn't somebody enjoy it? Like you always talk like that, and I don't really know what's weird about it that would turn some people off.
I don't know. I mean, it's really good, but it's like
It's got weird sex
a
stuff.
lot of it's not really sex stuff, just like teenage romance stuff. That's kind of weird. They're not. It's not like. It's really not like very sexual or anything.
Like Persona
but it's
style?
like, yeah,
Slice of life.
like like it's slice of life, and like
But you're riding
there's-
hard for it.
like there's like a scene where the people who monitor the kids in it are like talking about how it's unheard of that the entire team is going through puberty at the same time, and like.
Dear Lord. So wait, is it like any emotional stuff? Is it like
It's really emotional. I've cried watching it. I'm
okay.
telling it's
All right.
but it's great. The story's great. It's really I love it. And I mean the kid from the guy who I work with loves it too, and he's like, we just watched this week's episode and it's like takes it to a new level, and he's like, man,
I'm gonna have to
it's
try
like the
it.
best show I've watched in years. I'm like, I know it's so good.
I want to
Like,
talk more about the romance stuff. Like, is it like cringy? Is it uncomfortable? Is it
No.
just high schoolers hitting on each other, or what's
It's high school
why is
love.
it weird?
and they're not even really. No, it's not cringy, and it's just. I don't know why it's just weird. I don't know.
You're
I don't
making a
understand. I
face.
just don't know if it's weird, if it's for everybody. Like, it's hard to explain.
Is it just because it's such a big part of the story that it's like we're used to watching
Yeah, like-
action-y stuff, and if you're
Yeah, it's
watching
not
relationship-y
action.
stuff,
Like half of it is about like their relationships with each other and like the
right?
kids becoming adults and stuff. So it's
good drama.
If you're looking for like an action anime, and you're gonna be like, what the fuck is this? But like,
Yeah.
it's you know.
Before I got into Persona, I would probably not get it, but
Yeah.
that's what I like. I mean, Persona does that stuff and makes me like it,
It's,
right? And
it
some
totally
of it
does,
is
yeah. And it's like Persona, where it's not like cringy or stuff, but if your wife walked in at a certain time, she'd be like, "What are you watching?"
Right.
And so it's
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So
Yeah, mine knows too, I think, at this point.
it's just like it's like that. But I mean, if you watch it, it's great. But it just has certain parts would seem weird to someone who hasn't watched the whole series.
and sees a 40-year-old man sitting on the couch watching.
Exactly.
I gotcha.
I'm with you.
Yeah. But I love it. And I started watching Amanchu, which is the anime about girls who go scuba diving. They haven't actually scuba dived yet. They just got to high school. And like the one girl's really shy and the other girl's like super outgoing and crazy. And it's pretty good. It's funny. I love slice of life shows. Apparently, they're like
We talk about it every week.
I know.
And then I'm almost done with Gabriel Dropout, which is it's a show about these angel and demon girls that are, two of them are from hell and two of them are from heaven, but they're in high school, and it's a comedy. It's really funny. The demon's like tries to be bad, she can't be bad, and then the angel's like she's like the dropout, and she's the laziest angel in the world, and it's fun. It's just, it's good. She's addicted to MMOs and it's just a complete failure at being an angel. But I'm almost done with that.
Good.
Sorry, my week's going on really long. Yeah, it's great. And I read the new Black Magic. It was awesome.
Hell yeah.
Read the new X-Men Red. It was still really good. Read Gideon Falls #2. You guys were right. Super awesome. Takes it to the next level.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Avengers #1. I like it so far. It's awesome seeing the big three together again. And I did read Infidel 1 and 2. That's great too.
Yes.
I don't read many horror comics, but
it's awesome.
Yeah, and the art in it is great.
Hell yeah.
I'm really gonna keep reading that. And then I read Death or Glory. I don't know if you saw that. It's by Image. And that was really
the title.
#1. But I read all those comics. That's it. That's my week.
Nice.
Wow, dude.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Interrupt just for a second before Dirk goes back in. The movie that I was talking about, there's a 10 out of 10. I said A Beautiful Life. It's called Life It's Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I messed that up.
And Jeff was thinking of A Beautiful Mind.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
See?
So I didn't read as many comics, I guess, this week. I read Avengers 1. I liked it okay. I'm gonna check out the next few issues. I love Jason Aaron, so I know that he probably has a story in place to engage us. And #1 issues are the hardest to get past, I think, in my opinion, because you have to like grab people.
Yeah.
And there's so many comics out that if you don't get grabbed in that first issue, it's hard to come back to it. But I did finish. I know I mentioned this last week, but Scalped Volume 1, and I know that it says on the back here, on the shelf next to, Why the Last Man and some other stuff. It's absolutely, I won't say at the level of Why yet, but it feels like it could go there for sure, and that's Jason Aaron as well.
What's it about?
It's about this sort of, it's like a crime comic theme on an Indian reservation, but they get into like a lot of just, the way it's written is gorgeous, man. It's the way it's like plotted out and the storytelling throughout. I mean, it didn't start to hit until issue 3, but like from issue 3 on, it turned into a movie as you're reading, and I just couldn't stop reading it. I'm like going through it. The other one was, I got The Cinder Volume 5, which is probably one of the best Jeff Lemire titles out. He's the guy that does Gideon Falls. Mm-hmm. It's incredible. Space opera stuff. Really awesome. But sorry, Jeff, my comic of the week is Venom #1. I loved it, man. I guess maybe it's a little different for me because I'm familiar with the Venom story, the original plot line, and this just wipes that, what you thought you knew about Venom, wipes it away completely, and is starting. It's not a retcon, but it's like they're filling in some cracks, I guess, in Venom's origin, and it's got a slight horror bend to it, which is awesome. So that's my comics, and then I beat Celeste.
Beat Celeste.
Yeah.
Beat Celeste.
You did it.
It was trying, and I'm sorry that I have to relate to you guys online about how fucking frustrated I was getting, but I was just like, yeah. I mean, it only got that way for me at the end. Once I'm not gonna go into spoilers, but Corey knows what I'm talking about. That last level.
Yeah.
It's painful. It is painful. I think I died 3,000 times total in the length of the game.
Thousands sometimes.
Well, sometimes I rage died. Like I would send her off the cliff in anger. like 5 or 6 times. Just to, I was so frustrated. But yes, I beat it, and I was like, I'm not going after those 4 hearts. Fuck that. I'm just...
4 hearts or 4 strawberries?
Hearts. There's a thing with hearts at the end that can extend the game. And I'm like, nope, I'm done. I beat it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So,
I didn't go after those either.
yeah. So, the rest of my week, watched Legion. I caught up with 2 hours today. Awesome. I think the last episode was better. This one was squirrely in some parts, but also I liked some elements of it. So we'll talk about it in spoilers. Scary thoughts. I just had the one episode about Facebook, which I think was 2 or 3 hours long.
No, it wasn't that long.
But it was
2
cool.
hours.
I mean, yeah, it was 2 hours. Yeah,
It's good, though.
because I had to pause it and pick up, during my work week. But it was
Facebook
super
a
awesome.
movie?
No.
It's just about...
They
just about
every
Facebook?
now and then.
Yeah, as
they
a
have episodes like a black metal, right? Like they
Okay.
throw in different stuff.
yeah, they'll take like a theme and identify. So they take Facebook as horror, and they they talk about
The
why
horrors of Facebook.
the horrors of Facebook, basically.
It was a really good episode.
And they spiral into a ton of other stuff too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what keeps me engaged. Is they freeform all over the place and just really, really smart stuff.
Yeah.
And then finally, I watched Evil Genius on Netflix, which is a 4-part docuseries about a bank robbery with a guy with a bomb around his neck. That, it's hard to explain, but this is a real case. A guy walked into a bank, said that he had a bomb around his neck that was chained like a handcuff, and that if they didn't give him the money, it would go off. And I think they gave him like $8,000, and he walked out, and it still went off. And the whole series is about them trying to piece together how this happened and who was the cause of it, and it's crazy. I can't even believe that it's a real thing. But yeah, it's a 4-part series, so you can breeze through it. It's fucking awesome. That's my week.
Nice.
Wow.
And Curse of Strahd is the other thing. I've just been loading up on that.
News of the week.
It spiraled out into just a mess.
Yeah, that's bad. Number 5. Microsoft is now allowing game gifting on Xbox One.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Everybody acts like this came out as news and it was a big kind of deal, and I don't really get
I
why
think it's a
any
big
different
deal.
than just giving somebody a code for a gift card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of forces your friends to play a game, basically.
let me
That's
ask
how my
this.
buddies on Steam use it, who have it all the time.
Can you send it to somebody without it just appears in their console, or the download appears?
You get the code, then you can add it to download the game.
So
Okay.
how's it any different than a gift card? You give them a
Listen.
code?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Okay, all right.
So it's
But what it goes
direct
away
game
was-
without a gift card.
Because when I first launched the Xbox Next Gen, I think it was both PS4 and Xbox, there was this whole thing about some sort of you couldn't. They were going to try and put a code so you couldn't share the game. Like if I picked up God of War physical copy and I finished the game, then I mailed it to Dirk. Unless he had this code to unlock it, he couldn't play the disc for some reason. It was weird. And then I stopped it right when it got released because there's a lot of pushback from players.
Yep.
I think it's been a long time.
Yeah,
4 years.
that was one of the laundry list of reasons why the PS4 has dominated this generation. When they announced their shit at launch, it was a mess. Like, they did not have the pulse on what people wanted at all. Right.
People on Steam love game gifting. That's why it's a big deal. I mean, my buddy's all about Steam, and basically, it's because people like tell your friend, you gotta play this game, and they'll be like, maybe, and then you're like, here. You're playing this game, and then they gift it to them, and then you're like, "Oh fuck, now I gotta play the game." So I don't like people gift them all the time on Steam. So my buddy gifted me one. Like I'm like, why did you just buy a game for me? That was weird. But it's like a big thing on Steam. People on Steam buy games for each other all the time, so it's just a big deal that it came to Xbox because people on computers like it.
Well, way to educate me.
Yeah, well, that's how I got. That's how I got Dota 2, and I have a copy of LA Noire on Steam because someone gifted it to me.
Oh, okay.
Dota 2 is free.
Dota 2 is lame.
I need to get into Dota 2 so I can make millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Number 4, Monster Hunter Generations coming to Switch. So,
That's interesting.
You don't get World, but you can get some Monster Hunter.
What's the difference?
It's like the old 3DS versions. It's not.
Yeah, so this is a 3DS game that never came to America. And so the last game was that we got before Monster Hunter World was Monster Hunter Generations on the 3DS. And then this is like the sequel to that. It's called like Double Cross or something in Japan. Like they have different naming over there than they do here.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
So this is going to be a up-resed 3DS game coming to the Switch.
Oh wow!
You know.
Yeah, so it's not going to look anything like World.
Yeah, and what I heard was that that it actually has way more monsters. Like it has like 4 times the amount of monsters in it, but it's also everybody who's been into Monster Hunter for a long time says that this new game like changed a lot of things for the better. Like I mean, just for example, like I guess picking up ingredients, like when you're walking around and farming, grabbing herb and stuff like that. Like before, that took like 10 seconds. This whole animation of getting those, so it wasn't just running around grab, and like that type of thing is going to be in this game. You know what I mean? Like the older school stuff that just how the gameplay is and stuff.
Well, I heard with Monster Hunter World they changed a lot of things that made it a lot easier. Like there was, I guess, the older games had a lot more pouch management that was really micromanagement and frustrating.
And no scout flies.
Yeah, no scout flies.
Yeah, but it's cool, I guess. I
want to play more Monster Hunter.
Yeah, exactly. Thing is, with the I don't know I like to play with friends. I don't know if my friends got it, I would get it. So
I like playing World even by the end. I like doing it even without friends. I didn't mind at all doing it with randos once I got to fights.
Right. Yeah.
Especially those Japanese players that jump in there and just destroy the monster. I'm like, oh, okay.
Some of them suck. Some of them are just like us. Number 3. Sony came out and said what they're focusing on at E3. It sounds like it's going to be mostly Death Stranding and Last of Us 2. And I thought there was
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
There's 4, they said. Sean Layden was on the PlayStation Blogcast last week, and he came out and addressed it. And it's Death Stranding,
Ghost of Tsushima, Spider-Man, and Last of Us.
And what's the fourth one?
Before.
Death Stranding.
I said Death Stranding.
Spider-Man and Last of Us.
And Tsushima.
So pretty smart, right? I mean, this is also the reason why the PlayStation 4 continues to crush the Xbox One, because now Xbox One has no exclusive games, and PlayStation 4 has tons of them, right? And and those 4 we're all gonna get every one of those games, right?
Well, and that's what it makes me think that this game gifting on Xbox One is like a last-ditch effort for Microsoft to try and save it, because I'm going back to an original topic, but if you think about it, now that you have the Mirror Play you can download the games on your PC if you already have them on Xbox. It's almost getting to the point where it's going to just negate having an Xbox, except, for what? For a console. When you really think about it.
I wouldn't say they're dying. Microsoft.
They're not dying,
really
but they are farther behind on the power curve because, The Last of Us is, just way top-notch up there.
Yeah.
They need to separate themselves from the pack. The Switch
was their big hope, and it didn't go over quite as planned.
Yeah. That's why the Switch is doing as well as it is, because it fills a niche in the market.
And they're getting Metroid.
Well, yeah. I just don't want to see too much of Last of Us 2.
No.
It's my big thing.
I don't want to see it.
Keep that trailer that that teaser they launched a couple of months ago, and stick with that.
Yeah, I went into Last of Us only knowing that there was a guy and a little girl. Like, that was all I knew about
anything about it.
I just saw the cover art, and that was the only thing I knew. I didn't even know what kind of game it was. And it was great playing it like that. It was, I don't know how I managed to avoid spoilers for so long, because I played the remaster, but I did. And I want Last of Us 2 to be a similar experience.
Well, I never heard of it until you guys talked about it, and then I played it. I'm like, wow.
I would like them to play at E3, have a big gameplay part where you're just going through an area and fighting enemies and show us how that's better and things like that. You know what I mean? They don't need to
no story.
any story stuff at all. Yeah, and but it would be cool to see I didn't like the gameplay in the Last of Us, right? And it's still my second favorite game of all time without that. So I would like to see if they could improve on the gameplay.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even really like stealth games.
That's why I hate Metal Gear.
Can't wait for E3. And number 2, Star Wars TV series. Got some more news about it. Apparently it's taking place 7 years after Return of the Jedi.
So how long is that before... what is that?
23.
23 years.
Okay.
Instant math.
Yeah.
This is interesting because, I read those books that take place the original books that were done by Timothy Vane that brings up Grand Admiral Tharn. And those books, Heir to the Empire, took place 7 years after Jedi. But
Did they wipe that?
Yeah, they wiped it.
They wiped it, but what's this TV series going to cover? Is it going to be the heroes, or is it going to be like a Rogue One?
Yeah, they haven't said at all what it's going to be yet.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. If it's like Luke Skywalker and Leia and stuff, I don't believe that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't
Weird
think
if it was.
I don't see it. Yeah.
No
You
way.
know? But I could also see I'd like that too. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? If you did that story good, I'd be down with that. So
As long as you didn't CGI some weird eyebrows on some actor for Mark Hamill.
C-3PO series.
that'd be sweet too.
3PO's face after Leia kisses Luke, and it's like, that's your sister.
Spoiler.
Spoiler alert! Oh my god!
Number 1.
40-year-old.
Nintendo finally announced their online service, $20 a month. So
A year.
the app.
That's
A year.
Yeah,
year.
$20 a year. It launches
Not
in
a month.
September. It launches in September.
Yeah.
And right now, if you have a
Sucks.
Switch, or when Dirk and they get their Switch, if you get it before September, you can trial that online service for free.
Fingers
Yeah, it
crossed.
sucks. They're basically taking away free online play. I mean, it's been free since I've had my Switch.
But in
I have to
return,
pay
they're giving
for
you
it.
an ass load of games.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a whole ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just a ham.
So did you
Yeah.
see the list of games?
I did not.
No.
Yeah, I mean it's the good ones that you want are in there. It's not all of them, right? But for $20 a year, everybody else is charging me $50 or $60 a year. For $20 a year, and you give me some of the greatest games of all time for free, I don't see any complaints about it. To me,
How far
it's
back?
cool.
I mean, I do. You have to talk through your freaking phone.
Yeah, but that's Discord. We talked about that before.
So, like Rygar? Is Rygar in there?
Rygar, I don't think Rygar is one of them, but you assume over time they're either going to add or they'll do Netflix where you swap them out as time goes on and things like that. You'd assume that they would do that.
That's a huge selling point for me because not Rygar in particular, but just the fact because I play NES games on my PC.
Right.
And to have it in a console experience on my TV, sign me up, man.
Well, and then they're also on top of the $20 a month for they have a family plan that's $35, and you can share everything across that family plan and have up to 8 accounts linked to it.
PlayStation doesn't make you pay extra for that.
No.
I gotta say.
But PlayStation's also $60.
Yeah, right.
A year. So I mean, even then, this is cheaper in the long run.
It shouldn't be a big deal for them to let other profiles play online.
No.
For the same price if you're paying for it.
Well, keep your fingers crossed because this week is the first week that Vanessa initiated the conversation about a Switch. She said,
I don't want one. It's weird.
You see, we would use it all the time because, right now we're just playing everybody's golf every day, and I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
But she still loves
I'm
it.
Sure you are. It's been
and
a year.
I'm trying to think of where we can meet in the middle, and that's really the only solution is the Switch. So,
what games on the Switch would she be interested in?
Well, probably Golf Story, maybe. Okay. Mario Kart for sure.
Yeah.
Any of the very cutesy sort of semi-easy to play competitive games she would be into.
Zelda.
Sure. Splatoon?
She'd watch Zelda maybe, but...
Would she be into Splatoon?
I don't know. I haven't played Splatoon.
It's a shooter.
Yeah.
But
I love my Switch, but because if I had I'd be in the same boat as you if I had a Wii U, Nate. I mean, it's I rarely play it portable, and half the great games on it are Wii U games.
Yeah, Mario is the
now.
only game that I want. So it's not worth $500 to play one game.
Totally. And if I had any sort of Nintendo product, I wouldn't want one either. But I don't have anything in my house outside of my PC.
Tons. Yeah, I got tons.
I have zero to scratch that urge. So.
Yep, gotcha.
But yeah, if you didn't own a Wii U, it's a no-brainer. I mean, I love it. But right now,
I'll DM her phone number so y'all can hit her up.
I don't care about those old games. The only thing I would like about the NES games would be the online multiplayer.
They're cooking it in.
That part will be cool. I'm not gonna play any of those single player.
Yeah, and did you hear about
Ninja Gaiden? Come
on. You hear about pass the controller mode that they're putting into it? So they're making it so it's for example, Zelda is a single player game, right? So they're making it so that two people you can play online, and you hand control off to each other as you play through it. So you could play for a half an hour, give it to your buddy, let him play for a half an hour while you're talking the whole time over the app and stuff like that.
Nope, I'm too fucking greedy for that shit.
Greedy? What do you mean?
Yeah, too greedy. I'm not gonna play for a half hour. Here, you want to know?
It's just like the
but think about it.
On the couch with your buddies.
It was a different game though.
If it's what you're saying, Nate, it's like if I do one level of Mega Man, one boss, and I'm tired, I can hand it off to Jeff to finish Rockman or whatever.
Yeah,
after
exactly.
That's awesome.
It is awesome, I think.
Because Nintendo games will burn you out. I mean, I can't play those games like I used to. So, 20. Those games are very repetitive, and you'll burn out quick. You got to pass it off. That's kind of sweet.
Yeah.
Or you get a shitty game like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Bayou Billy. The Adventures of Bayou Billy was awesome.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. This week in Community Corner, I asked a simple question, and I got a lot of responses. So that was awesome. Thank you, everybody. So I asked the question: are you more hyped to see the new Deadpool 2 movie or Solo? And Matt Megacy from Mutiny Info Cafe said, with a meme, why not both? And Nate's like, because it's fun to talk about. It's because it's so difficult. And then Bill said Solo. Brian said Deadpool 2, but then he said, I'm going to see both. Mark said, Deadpool for me, with only 2 movies, it's still fresh. And Nate said Deadpool because I got a bad feeling about Solo. And then Jeremy popped in and he said Deadpool 2. And the other answer is wrong and you should feel bad. Love Deadpool. Albert says, I don't trust Star Wars creative team, so Deadpool. Corey piped in and said DP2 for show.
Show.
Oh.
You think that, Corey, you picked Deadpool 2? Like, if you could only watch one, you'd watch Deadpool 2?
Yes.
I mean, that's not the question. The question is, which are you more excited for?
Yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah, more hype. That's true.
If I could only pick one and couldn't watch the other one, then probably Solo, but I'm more excited for Deadpool.
So Ross said Deadpool. Through a good friend in LA, a Star Wars fan, but critical, saw Solo the other night and said it was pretty good. So I'm hopeful. Kevin said comedy sequels are never good. Solo looks cool. Well, Kevin's wrong.
I agree with Kevin.
Some guy named Charles says, I don't know. People are going to disagree with me, but I like the casting in Solo. I think Danny Glover is going to rock
He said
Lando.
Danny Glover.
He did say Danny Glover. And actually it's Donald Glover, not Danny Glover. True, the white guy doesn't look much like Harrison Ford, but hindsight is 2020, and Lucas wouldn't let us make a Solo movie earlier, so... And then Dirk wants to see it because he wants to see Santa Staros. And
Thank you, sir.
So, yeah. So I thank everybody for your overwhelming responses. What
was your answer, Jeff?
I'm taking One Piece. I really want to see Solo, but I'm scared, so I'm going to go safe with Deadpool 2.
You think Solo's going to be that bad?
I just don't know, dude. It's hit or miss sometimes.
They have so much. All they can do is fuck it up. Like, there's any little thing is going to make Han Solo fans mad. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, they have to, if they nail it, like, I'll come back in 2 weeks and be like, shit, I was wrong. This is a really good movie. I'm so happy. But there's so many little things that they could do.
There is.
But
I feel good about it.
People.
And just a little trivia that Marvel has been around long enough that at one time saw dick was slang for straight talk.
It's not true.
It's not true.
Disproven in the thread.
Yeah.
No. Just don't trust anything you read on Facebook.
No.
And this leads us into our next week's community question. Not really, but it does because that's where I'm going. Is what Marvel book / character would you like to see covered in the MCU?
All right, and it's that time of the week where we give the love back. Everybody out there, subscribe to us this week. What are we up to? Like 1530 or something like that?
Right.
Like, really blows us away with the amount of support that we get every week. Thank you to everybody. A lot of people that subscribed also have YouTube channels, so we got a little list here. Everybody go down to the description of the video in youtube.com/GCandC, GCandC. If you are listening to the audio version of this, that's how you find it. And just throw support back at these people who supported us this week. Go to their channels, click the subscribe button on it, hit the bell, do all the stuff, right? So, this week, checked out the Frozen Goods, Nathaniel, I think that's Nathan.
Nathaniel.
A-L, yeah, right. G, Me Gamer 201, King Egg, ODST, AC310, and Nightmare PMD.
No, I got Keith One Shot, Abby DeBoney, Incredible, Brer LaCrue, the Nannies, Gaming with Strange, Simply Erica, and Nisha Panda Beast.
In non-nerd content, we have Toys and Dolls Let's Play, Island 1082, Miss Cherry SL, Midnight Knowledge, Rome Vlogs, Elysier, Genesis Gamey, Burn Steel, and the Super Charlie.
Yeah, so all you YouTubers out there, this is a big list of active YouTubers, right? You can go back to our past shows and go in the descriptions there. These are people that are hitting up each other now, today. So go down to that list and subscribe everybody up, right? And every week we do a little contest, Name of the Week, where we pick a name, excuse me.
Yeah, there goes. See?
We pick
a channel based on nothing other than the name. So, this week, what do you guys got?
Man,
And
I think I'm
Gaming
going
with Strange.
Yeah, if I was thinking of the connotation that's in my head, I'm going with Gaming with Strange.
Nice. I was going to say the Panda Beast. Nisha Panda Beast.
Nisha Panda Beast. Nah, I gotta go with Gaming with Strange. The other one that was funny was Abby DeBunny, but I don't know if it's the way Corey said it. But Gaming with Strange.
All right,
because
congratulations.
in my mind, I actually put like Gaming with Strangers instead of how it's written, and so I thought that was.
But I'm curious what the meaning is there. But.
Yeah,
that's what went through your mind.
Your name of the week.
Yeah,
Gaming with Strange.
Woo!
Gaming with Strange.
And also, I'd like to give a huge shout out to everyone that jumped on the stream tonight, and we had Couple Up from Couple Up Gaming. I think that's their name. It's Couple Up Gaming. That's who it is. And as always, our most avid supporter, old Captain Emo.
Yeah.
The Cap hopped onto your stream on his cell phone using his data, he said, just because he had to say hi.
Wow.
So, yeah,
that's
Cap,
awesome.
We appreciate you.
Love Cap.
Yeah, and thanks to Dark Wolves, who jumped on right when I started streaming, and then Benjamin Cyrils. I thought there was one other one, but
that would be me.
Dirk was on her. I know it's so hot. Playing Titanfall 2, it's so hard to pay attention to the chat.
That's a tough one.
Because you have to focus so much on what's going on.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it FPSs for myself. So it's too hard.
I appreciate everyone jumping on. Captain Emo, as always.
Yeah.
Should pay you back data. We got shirts. Just to put this out, we got shirts. Link's going to be in the description below.
We got women's tees also now.
Nice.
Yeah. And we got some new Facebook group members. Jim, Mark, Patrick, Paul, and Chris.
Thanks, everybody.
Welcome.
Beatles.
Yep, looking forward to chatting with you there. So, find everything. This week we did not have any new Patreons, but hit up our Patreon page. That's patreon.com/GCandC. There you can help us out. You can help us make everything better by donating $1 a month, just $1 per month. Think about what $1 gets you.
Makes Dirk holla. That's right.
Every single day.
Made it through an episode without.
Damn, I know.
Also, but we post up all our videos there as well. So that's patreon.com/GCandC.
Word.
Yeah. Find us on Twitter at GCandC.
And as always, thank you to Fred Thomas for opening music and Xee Reiter for the logo of the century.
Yeah, thanks, guys. So that's been Comically Gaming, episode 104. We're about to end the show with a full spoilers discussion about Legion and where the show is, kind of halfway through the season. What is it, episode 14? Is that what it is?
Yes.
So we'll go full spoilers through there. So if you're not caught up current, then this is your time to check out. Come back.
Episode 14?
Yeah,
it's called Chapter.
Yeah, Chapter 14.
Chapter 14.
Is the
Is
title.
it as good as Phil Mora presents Heroes and Dragons?
No. It's a different playing field.
That's funny.
But yeah,
I love
everybody,
that.
if you're leaving, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Word.
We'll talk some Deadpool, right?
Yeah.
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 Later,
Yeah.
guys.
Jimmy Chonga.
Welcome back, everybody.
Yeah.
Comically Gaming 104, spoiler section. This week, we're returning back to the Legionnaire segment.
That's season 2 of the
Season
Legionnaire.
2, the Legionnaire. So, I think we just finished. I actually watched the last 2 episodes today, chapter 13 and 14.
It's full spoilers.
Full spoilers
Yeah,
for anybody that's here.
We're talking.
Please be
everything
caught
from
up on it. Yeah, you don't want to be not caught up on it.
Chapter
But
14.
chapter 14. So, what'd y'all think?
With chapter 14?
Yeah.
Or with I mean,
You want to do the
So-
whole half?
yeah. Last year we talked every single episode, right? And we haven't had a chance this year, so I think we kind of can talk through anything from the season so far. We haven't done that on Comically Gaming yet.
I generally like this season more. It does have a few moments that are not as great as like the base median of season 1, if that makes any sense.
What do you mean, like like when?
Well, like this past episode, there were just some moments in it I thought were kind of, I don't know. It's hard to define, but the highs of this season are really good. I mean, there's some mind-blowing stuff again this season that territory that TV just has not done before, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I'm blown away. Like, since we haven't talked it at all, I'm shocked that they revealed Farouk and he's cool. Like, I totally thought, like, if they
Farouk is
actually
great.
had it be David
Yeah.
versus Farouk, like, that it was better when he was kind of like this mind thing, right? That was just taking
Yeah.
over people before, and that if they tried to kind of make a character out of that, that it would just turn into my fear, like a normal superhero thing, good guy versus bad guy, right? They revealed
Yeah.
Farouk, and it's not like that. Farouk is totally like telling David, like, look at yourself. You are a god. We are not like the rest of these people, and you need to
Yeah.
embrace that, and you know what I mean? Not think about this in the way that humans do, right? And just really, really fucking cool. Like, I love the character and him as a villain. It's so refreshing for a comic book story. And, you know, it's like my wife will watch this stuff, and she doesn't care about the X-Men and would prefer it had nothing to do with the X-Men, but still enjoys it because these characters are so kind of cool, right? And
Absolutely.
it's just, I just love it so much. I mean, this season has had its ups and downs, right? Like you said, kind of. And to me, it was more just the Sid episode I didn't like, but it's still, everything else has been super. And just like I say, that the way that they're framing this fight is so unlike anything we've seen on film for superheroes, you know, and I love it.
Yeah. That also that it echoes the comic book, that mutant superiority thing. Totally, that's something that's actually in the book, which is awesome that they played off of that. And then also it was great to see David finally have a bit of emotion about his sister. And that whole fucked up scenario.
That was where Farouk really pissed me off.
Right. It's the first bit of like real sadness that you get from him, because he's sort of detached a little bit just from his experiences, I think. And, you know, he's so much in his head all the time. But it like struck him completely about his sister. And what a fucking way to deliver that story. My God, you know?
Yeah.
I just thought that was incredible. Punch. The gut.
Corey didn't like it.
Well,
We didn't talk about that yet. You didn't like this last episode. You said that was the stinker.
I just thought it was a filler episode. It was just all the alternate realities which don't affect the show at all. The Sid episode you thought was the stinker. I like that because it was building, and that's stuff that all actually happened to her. It built on her character in the show and showed you her past. This is all stuff that I didn't say. I'm not calling it a stinker. It was really cool, but it was just unconnected to anything. It was totally unnecessary for and they talked about giving them an extra episode.
That's what I thought this was.
Yeah, and if this is the extra episode, or they clearly they didn't need an extra episode. If this isn't it, they could have just got rid of this one, and we wouldn't have missed anything.
See,
I mean, is all I'm saying. It was really cool. Don't get me wrong. I loved seeing the different Davids and how his reality would be different, and whatnot. But it just didn't.
That scene with the cops, right?
Yeah.
That scene with the cops was heavy, though. That was intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
sure.
I was trying to think about it, and I'd text Corey about this, but when you think about any depiction, again, on film, of multiple realities, like, generally, it's like some trip-out acid trip scene where somebody's tumbling through space or whatever, right? And then they come out the other side of it, and I just thought this was they wanted to attempt a depiction of multiple realities and tie it together through this show, and then just that 1 minute of Farouk at the end saying, choose your shit out of this stuff, again, just shows that, it's Farouk and him like fighting in each other's heads, and Farouk, showing him that, look, this could have went all these different ways, and you chose the one where you are this dude, right, where you're Legion, and I just thought that was sweet. It's cool.
Yeah, it was cool. Comparing the two seasons, I think I did like season 1 a little better, just because of the whole you didn't know if he was crazy or not thing until like halfway through the season. That added a lot. Now we know he's not, and so that part isn't so much a part of this season, but I still love every episode. I mean, it's awesome.
What's interesting is Noah Hawley wrote this episode, the chapter 14 with the multiple realities. So I thought that was interesting. But that scene with the Brian Ferry song, "Slave to Love," with the mouse singing it. Oh my God! I actually watched it twice, and I got Vanessa to come see it and watch it because it was just. Every once in a while, it's just like they're not afraid to have fun with the series and throw some ridiculous stuff in there to make you just be like, what?
Yeah,
and even
I love that kind of shit.
Yeah, exactly. What
cool.
I mean how was that connected? What was he? Was there some significance to that, or was it?
It was just every one of those realities that had the powers, right? It's just he didn't know how to harness them, right? So that was stuff that was going on in his head, and that he made the mouse sing, right? And heard the song in the background or whatever. That's how I saw it anyway. Yeah,
it's very possible, totally. It was interesting. I'll give it that. I think, Nate and I mentioned this off air, but the makeup was kind of bad in this episode. That kind of threw me off. Yeah, because as a homeless guy, was he a caveman? I mean,
that did not look like him at all.
Right.
He totally looked like the Geico caveman. But
at the same hand, like, his powers looked cooler. Like, remember the first episode, how bad the powers looked when they were throwing people and stuff? Like, when he was actually fighting the military and stuff, like, it looked cool.
You know what was cool, too? I will say another thing I liked about this episode was that I was interested in some of those alternate David storylines, like the one where he's the richest man in the world. I wanted to see, like, how he got to be that, so I was curious about, but, I mean, ultimately, you can remove this episode, and it almost doesn't have any bearing, right, on the rest of the season, or we don't know.
Just the impact on the main story arc, but, you can just tell the directors wanted to, like,
they wanted
try some cool stuff, right, so.
Yeah. And I mean, look, when he's writing that good of a series, that groundbreaking of a series, I think you just got to let him do what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Totes. All right,
I'm
well,
excited, though, for the second half.
Yeah, I think we have like 5 more episodes in the season, so we'll definitely wrap it up afterwards.
My friend Jeremy, who actually used to be my DM in high school, and that is probably the greatest DM I've ever had, he just started watching it, and he's like completely blown away by it. So there's people.
Yep.
Bandwagon. Slowly.
The 3 of us should all pitch in like $7 and buy the DVD for season 1 and just mail it to Jeff.
Yeah.
We should do
Totally.
it. All right. Well, that's been it. Episode 104.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you
Later.
next week.
Yeah.
Later.
Later.
Later.